Vicore Pharma är ett litet läkemedelsbolag som är inriktat på svåra lungsjukdomar, bland annat idiopatisk lungfibros. Aktien har mer än halverats sedan bolaget aviserade om sin företrädesemission. Så här sa vdn Ahmed Mousa till oss på Paretos hälsovårdskonferens.
So Vicore Pharma is highly focused on creating therapies for very serious diseases, starting with a disease called idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, or IPF. This is a disease that's worse than most cancers. It's a disease where essentially the ability for a patient to breathe is choked off, and they only live 3 to 5 years after the diagnosis, and we're looking to create a drug that can help these patients, but also it's a multi-billion-dollar market, and so we're also looking to deliver incredible return to investors who come on board with us as well. First and foremost, we've been able to show in a smaller phase 2A study that we can actually have what's called a disease-modifying effect in IPF, which means that we make this deadly disease actually something that we can have a transformational effect, improve lung function for these patients. And now with this financing, we're looking to prove that in a large global phase 2B study that's designed like a phase 3 to essentially prove that this drug is effective for these patients.
And also about the side effects, if we have a look at the AIR study, we saw the data from it, and it looks like there's a hair loss for some patients. And my question is, you had a dose of 100 milligrams before, and the ASPIRE trial is going to have like 50 and 100. So is that due to the hair loss that you're thinking maybe if you would go down in the dosing, it would help some people and maybe benefit them better?
Yeah, it's a great question. Actually, the main reason that we're looking to do the lower dose is because this is what the health authorities want. So we've had actually a very good dialogue with the FDA, and the FDA does like to see, when you're demonstrating the efficacy of your molecule, 2 different doses before you're able to launch commercially. So I would say that's the main reason we're working on this. Actually, if you look at our drug, it's now been exposed to over 366 individuals, and it is very safe and well tolerated. We do have some hair thinning, but it is only in 19% of the patients in the phase 2A study. It's also what's called reversible, so actually the hair does come back. And I think that we have to remember that this is a disease that's worse than most cancers. So if you think about the types of therapies that a cancer patient would take and the effect that it would have on them, I think this is actually quite mild. Of course, if the 50 milligram dose is also both effective and it doesn't cause the hair loss, then we can advance with that one and hopefully have a drug that basically has no material side effects. But I think either way, this is an exciting therapy for patients.
And what do you see next? I mean, where will this end up and when will you hit the market?
It's a great question. So we're really focused on running a phase 2B study of the highest quality. It's the gold standard clinical study. It has the same design as a phase 3. It has the same regulatory endpoint. It's a frontline therapy, which means it's the first things patient can take, and they can take it with the current standard of care. And so really what we want to do is to be able to prove to everyone so that we can go have the conversations with the healthcare authorities, with the FDA and the EMA, with the clinicians, with the patient groups, after we've completed this phase 2B to get onto the market as quickly as possible.